Listen, we live in the land of the free, and freedom brings. I want to be able to free to do whatever the hell I want on the internet. That's all I'm saying.
And ISPs want to be free to do whatever they want on their infrastructure.
Well, I'm the consumer. I'm the one who pays.
They do have the freedom to do what they want on their infrastructure. They just don't have the incentive to spend millions of dollars to keep on improving it because
Here's a crazy thing.
Stuff.
Like you said, it was an oligarchy.
Oligopoly.
Oligopoly, right? Because there's only a few, right?
Yeah. Like an airline industry, yeah,
So,
there's only a few.
There's only a few.
Right.
But there's millions and billions of us. So who are you trying to satisfy? The ones or twos or threes that are
who has the power?
Everything?
Who has the power?
Or the millions and billions of people who pay you? Who are you going to try to satisfy?
Who has the money?
In business,
where we have, what, 400 million people almost living here now?
In business, it's give or take. I mean, it's give and take.
Okay, but who are you trying to satisfy? Is the customer right or is the business right?
It's a little bit of
what are we changing it now?
I don't know.
As far as I know, the customer's always right. It's always been that way, and unless businesses are trying to change it now, I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. I mean, really?
Hey, apparently they all got together. They got money
together. Is this
together.
the United States of America or the United States of corporations? Which one is it?
United States of
corporations.
Capitalism. Yeah. The United States of capitalism.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing right there. I sounded like a Democrat right there.
You did. Well, that's why you're more centered. You know what I mean? Like you said that to begin with.
So I have something that this is a real hot button topic as far as like the whole internet free net neutrality.
Oh yeah.
Like I someone that I know is arguing in favor of getting rid of net neutrality protections. Okay. And also,
I mean, they already did.
I know, but like because people on the internet are like complaining that we need to keep the internet an open
of course,
internet, right? I mean, that's how my show is brought to you. So no, but basically he was saying that by deregulating everything, by having almost
the Wild West.
Yeah. No, I meant like just everything from every business. The less regulations, the better, because regulations only make problems.
We found out in the Great Depression that that's not true. So you do need some regulation.
You do, but the government can't constantly be on everything. I think there has to be a limit in how much they are involved. Now, you're right. Exactly. Like what happened in 2008.
Yeah.
It was the wild, wild west with the housing market.
It was.
People's dogs were financing homes.
Wasn't the 2008 the housing bubble?
Everything leading
wasn't
up to
the housing
08.
bubble caused by government?
No.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Well, it was.
Bill Clinton.
There was early on
the
in '98
bill or whatever.
Because it incentivized.
He said that minorities have the right to be able to get
So they got
into
money.
the housing.
Yeah.
Getting loans from banks and everything. So what he did was he made it to where they had to be able to get into those type of markets, be able to get loans a little bit more freely, and so they ended up, opening that up.
But it was
it's a deregulation almost.
No, it was a situation where the banks were incentivized to give loans out to poor people that can't afford it.
Yes.
So it wasn't a natural thing. If that incentive wasn't there, the banks wouldn't have given these toxic loans because that would have been a bad business decision.
Correct. And then
when their money's insured,
when
their money's insured, well, fuck, it's free money, right? So that is what it's essentially a regulation that caused it, not the free market.
Yeah, but as soon as the banks started seeing that money rolling in, they kept it going. So the banks had something to do with it too.
Of course they did.
They got greedy.
There was an incentive to do it.
There was an incentive. But
so free market wouldn't have done it though. Free market banks wouldn't have given me a loan because I can't afford it.
The problem
they would have with the higher interest rate.
The problem with deregulating things is that you allow people to get creative, and then there's certain situations that come up where there's conflict of interest, that arise, and I think there is a term that comes from it. It's I can't think of it right now, but it's the fact that you're playing with somebody else's money, that isn't yours. and it's hazard, something hazard, moral hazard. There you go, moral hazard.
Yeah, I've heard that term before.
So the moral hazard is like this: you're actually being able to play with somebody else's money, and I'll get the correct term, but if you look up moral hazard, that is a huge thing that comes up, and especially in business and insurance. You know, and insurance uses that term a lot. So if you want to get informed, look up moral hazard. It's actually a crazy topic.
So
you have to have that fiduciary responsibility to make sure that the money's invested, money's being made, and money,
Because if you think about it, banks are betting with your money, the money you deposit. So for them to be, a loan officer doesn't have anything that holds him back from saying, okay, you're approved. So they can just say, you know what, your paperwork looks good, I'm going to go ahead and approve your loan. I mean, he's not messing with his own money, he's messing with the bank's money, which happens to be the people's money. So that has a lot to do with it. Think about it.
So that's another, going back to my regulation topic, I guess, mini topic, I guess, is whenever I've seen like this graphic that popped up on my Facebook feed of where like this country, I forgot which South American country it was like this country doesn't have net neutrality regulations, and so you actually saw their internet bundle. It looked like a cable package, whereas like you pay $10 for Netflix and Hulu, and then pay another $10 or for this website, Amazon.
So you're like double paying,
like eBay, yeah. So you have like the basic internet, which is like limited access to like email and shit and websites, and then you have the streaming package. It's like an add-on, so it's an.
But that just sounds like I'm paying more, doesn't it?
It does, or maybe
No, you're customizing what you're using your internet for.
Yeah,
so
you
like,
could end up paying less if all you're gonna do is just
emails,
use social media, then just buy the social media package and get Facebook and Twitter, and then I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but it still limits you.
Yeah,
it doesn't give you the freedom to explore, to do other things without having to pay money for it.
And so that's when deregulating comes in. If everything was deregulated, what happens is they
could charge you for every website you attend.
No, competition will keep you from being predatory.
So remind me, the net neutrality bill that was just passed.
It wasn't a bill. I think it was
FCC.
FCC actually.
That just.
But what does that mean to us? What they did? Was it a renewal?
That means that the internet service providers like Charter and AT&T, Verizon, they have control over their infrastructure. That means that they can throttle stuff. They can gatekeep. They can gatekeep.
I got you.
Is that's not their service?
Yeah.
You can be buffering all day.
Yeah, because they won't let you.
Got you.
Because
now prior to this, that was not the case. So did something expire, or did Trump or
no.
So the guy,
Ajit Pai was the new chairman of the FCC
with the big old Reese's Pieces coffee cup.
And his initiative was to deregulate and get rid of all those FCC the net neutrality protection.
The crazy thing about it is, even when I hear him talk, I still think he sounds dumb. I'm like, really? That doesn't make sense. What you're saying.
All right.
Big old cup is not.
Okay, I'm glad you brought me up to speed because I remember now. You're right.
So So the issue is the fear is that the internet service providers, the fact that we're on a bit of an oligopoly because there's very limited choice.
Right.
The fear is that they will control everything, and then they will force you to pay more. That all of a sudden, if you want to have access to Netflix, you got to pay $10 more. If you want access to Hulu, another $10 more.
That's crap.
If you want access to
that's crap.
on top of paying for the
That's crap.
That is the fear. However,
so it's already happened, by the way, and I think it was like AT&T was doing this campaign. They spent millions of dollars on this campaign. No, man, let's go ahead and do this thing. The net neutrality. Let's get rid of it and blah blah blah. The first thing they did was, this was on the news.
AT&T gave out bonuses.
AT&T actually started throttling some other services as they said no.
No. It's not. It was AT&T, but no, I was actually going to add to that. AT&T actually throttled services, but actually pushed services that AT&T owns.
Yes,
I forgot which apps.
But
it was an app that's owned by AT&T.
Which is exactly what everybody was afraid of doing.
So with the changes that were made, it made it possible for AT&T to do that legally.
Legally. Because there's no.
So as consumers, we're actually losing because they're manipulating what we have access to and what we don't.
So, but that's
like you said, the
that's
buffering thing.
that's the argument that my friend is making. He says that because a
Well,
business.
there's no pros to this.
No.
I can't think of a pro.
AT&T, I think, launched a package or something. Where you
Okay. I'm sorry. Real quick. I don't want.
I haven't even got to the pros yet. I haven't got to the upswing.
So there's no upswing here. There's no pros. But why the guy's name Sanjay or what's his name?
Ajit Pai.
Ajit Pai. Okay, I do remember seeing him on. So that was his thing. He wanted to do. What benefit other than, because I know that there's businesses like AT&T that probably paid a lot of money to
Verizon. Verizon. He was a former Verizon employee.
Right. What do you call those guys that
a corporate show?
No, the guys that go to Washington.
Lobbyists.
Lobbyists. I'm sure they paid millions of dollars to lobbyists.
Yeah, they were lobbying like crazy. Yeah.
But for the consumer, what benefit are
there is
and what consumer group backed us up is what I want to know.
No consumer groups backed us up. I just want to throw it out
Why?
there was a lot of the Americans that did a survey of and it was across the board, both left and right, actually agreed that like 81% of all Americans wanted to keep the net neutrality protections in place.
John Oliver had an episode about this.
Yes.
And he said that we could go online and we could sign a petition.
FCC
an
yourself.
FCC petition. But so what happened with that?
People did sign it, but it got denied or something? No. It got what's the word?
And that panel is full of
the FCC thing that I'm talking that John Oliver talking about. It got poisoned. The well got poisoned because there's this allegations of bots that were fake posting.
Yes, I remember now.
And so the results kind of had to get thrown out because you don't know who was a real person that was actually writing a message or who was putting a roboto message, because John Oliver gave you a template that you can copy and paste. So does it really mean it doesn't make you individual? Correct. So, but
thanks, John Oliver. Your fault.
But on top of the bots that were supporting it. So there's So you can't, and also the FCC hasn't disclosed the number and like the actual data itself. They just kept it secret for some odd reason. So here's the upswing. All right.
Go ahead.
A business is like a living person. You have to treat it as its own entity.
Yeah, of course.
And so if I am AT&T or if I'm Charter, and I have paid millions of dollars in infrastructure investing in these pipes, I should be able to do with them what I want.
If you look at it from that perspective,
Yes.
From a business perspective, yes.
So, however, because from a business perspective, you're the customer, you have the right to choose who are you going to do business with, who are you going to be doing transactions with.
Yeah.
So if I'm Charter and I'm screwing you over, or you think I'm screwing you over, you take your business to someone else.
Right.
And if no one else can provide you that business that you want, the deal that you're wanting, the package that you want, then you can actually just decide to not be on the internet, or you can start your own internet company. Because if there's no red tape to prevent you from making your own infrastructure, then you can do it.
Well, it sounds to me like I would need a lot of millions of dollars to be able to do that.
It takes
there's no upswing to that.
Millions of dollars to get a nice freaking network started.
And no one's gonna loan you that money because you're gonna be like, you're competing against AT&T. Get the hell out of my office. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I know.
So what you're saying theoretically is right, but that doesn't make any sense.
Theory, nobody can actually.
But no, but the thing is,
you know that.
But the thing is, I can't start an internet company right now as easily because of so much red tape that's preventing me from even getting in.
Yeah, but that doesn't change it. Net neutrality, getting rid of that doesn't actually.
Basically, what Ajit Pai is trying to accomplish now, which again, I don't necessarily know if that's true or not, but I mean, like the facts. What I meant. What Ajit Pai is ultimately trying to say in his defense is that he wants it to not be an oligopoly anymore. He wants more ISPs to exist. He wants more competition. And by getting rid of all this...
Does it really promote competition? I don't think it does. What you're saying is it's going to give us options to go get to more companies, but if they're gonna screw us by selling us these packages, like this Netflix package, I don't want to pay for that.
Then don't.
Well, if everybody's going to be offering that...
around here and wait until somebody can offer me that?
I mean you can go to AT&T, you can go to Verizon, Sprint, you can go to...
oligarchs or whatever. I'm talking about... the guy that's going to come up out of nowhere and start his own ISP, which costs millions of billions of dollars probably for infrastructure. And I have to wait for that guy to offer me a package where I could just roam freely through the internet. Because what if I like some of what Charter wants, some of what AT&T, and some of Verizon.
Because they're not all going to offer everything the same.
They don't all offer because they all their own individual things, and I like different things.
Different corporations are gonna want their business through them. You know what I mean?
I mean, as a consumer, you have to make that decision for
Now,
yourself.
See,
Like that's a
now,
thing.
with all that being said, how does and we have to look at both sides.
If Charter loses so many subscribers, they will change their business practices.
Sometimes I like going to McDonald's. Sometimes I like going to Jack in the Box.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I like going to Whataburger. All right. So sometimes I like to go to a buffet. All right. So what I'm trying to say is, I can't sit there and just eat McDonald's every day. I can't just be with AT&T all the time. I want to be able to go anywhere I want, no matter what. That's what I'm trying to say. So
then you can do that.
yeah, but if it costs me a shit ton of money to move from one internet service provider to go to another internet service provider because you always have contracts or all this shit that you got to do just to switch from one to the other, that is a problem.
Yes.
For me. So it's not as easy as just like, oh, well, I'm going to dump you and come over here. They always want you to sign a contract of some sort.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's
Always.
his person has argued the extreme. Like he even said, like, if you don't think they're, he gave me like the most bizarre ultimatums where it's like, if you don't like any ISPs, then don't be on the internet. Don't pay for internet. I'm like, what? He's like, no, you don't need internet. I'm like, no, I need internet. First off, like, and secondly, and then the second thing was, it's like, and then the second thing was, it's like, and if you don't, and if this company is in Kansas, then you can move to Kansas if they're offering you what you want. Like, if it's that important to you, then you can move. I'm like, no. I'm like, that is not an option. It's like everything is an option. He's arguing the extremes. Like he says everything is an option.
Your friend, you're talking about your friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your friend's crazy.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to argue.
I invited him to the show, but he didn't answer.
So check this out. Here's the thing. Let's go back to the Obama era rules regarding this net neutrality thing.
I don't think I did his arguments justice, but let me just throw that out there. He did a better job of explaining it to me because every time I try to refute him, he has a solution or he has a rebuttal.
So what would have happened if things stayed the same? What Obama approved or under his administration before these changes. What if things stayed that way? How will the consumers win or lose, and how will corporations win or lose? Because I can't be honest and say, for example, I know people that have the Fire Sticks. I know people that have.
Oh yeah, they can block the shit out.
They have different exactly. I know there's different things that they do to get free services like Netflix or internet or whatever. We all know about the dark web. We could go in and so. Are corporations losing money because of people like that? That are going behind, these things and watching free movies or free shows or whatever. Is net neutrality what we know now? Is that to kind of stop that? Is this a response to people getting free services by finding a loophole or what's your opinion on that?
I'm not sure. More about it. I'm not sure because I'm in this gray area where I don't know what to believe.
Right.
I don't know if losing these regulations are a benefit to us by increasing competition.
It doesn't sound like it is
or
to me.
If it's or if the way things were just fine, and because ultimately the way my friend explained it to me is that if these protections stayed in place, ultimately it doesn't give incentive to the ISPs to continue to improve their network, to improve their infrastructure. Okay. Because, well, why? I have no incentive to. I have no incentive to make my services better. If I have to make sure that all of my pipelines
so there's
are
a lot of
the
ISPs
same.
that didn't like this new change as well, because now the
ISPs
wanted it.
As a matter of fact, the ISPs like AT&T over the holidays, they gave their employees a bonus because of the passing of the So. But I don't know. This is one of those topics where there's.
I needed to get more informed.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's a solution to this because honestly, at least in this situation, because they're about to later this month in April is when they officially end. Because it passed in December,
right? But
it gets enacted in April.
Okay.
But also states actual states are suing the government to overturn it.
Right.
So it could be about a year or so or two before we actually truly get the final word. But in this brave new world that we're going to be in the internet, maybe it's for the better or maybe it's for the worse, but we won't know until after we've crossed that bridge.
Listen, we live in the land of the free, and freedom brings I want to be able to free to do whatever the hell I want on the internet. That's all I'm saying.
And ISPs want to be free to do whatever they want on their infrastructure.
Well, I'm the consumer. I'm the one who pays.
They do have the freedom to do what they want on their infrastructure. They just don't have the incentive to spend millions of dollars to keep on improving it because they only have so many customers. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't get any more customers. That's why with net neutrality, they may be able to customize a package that might be appealing to somebody or to certain people, and they could gain more. But at the same time, I think
Think about it like a Spirit Airlines model. Like imagine no. Imagine
don't even bring them up. I hate them so much.
Imagine a situation where like you can buy like the most basic of internet because that's all I need. If I'm a poor person, I can buy the Spirit Airlines package.
Spirit Airline is a bad example, Louis. I end up spending more money on Spirit Airline than like the best airline out there.
Here's a crazy
Baggage
thing.
stuff.
Like you said, it was an oligarchy,
Oligopoly,
right? Because there's only a few, right?
Yeah, like an airline industry. Yeah,
So
there's only a few.
There's only a few,
Right?
but there's millions and billions of us. So who are you trying to satisfy? The ones or twos or threes that are
Who has the power?
dominating everything?
Who has the power?
Or the millions and billions of people who pay you? Who are you going to try to satisfy?
Who has the money?
In business,
where we have what 400 million people almost living here now.
in business, it's give or take. I mean, it's give and take.
Okay, but who are you trying to satisfy? Is the customer right or is the business right?
It's a little bit.
What are we changing it now?
I don't know.
As far as I know, the customer's always right. It's always been that way, and unless businesses are trying to change it now, I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. I mean, really?
Hey, apparently they all got together. They got money
Is this the
together.
United
and they
States of
pushed it.
America or the United States of corporations? Which one is it?
United States of capitalism.
Corporations, yeah.
The United States of capitalism.
They have money. I guess if we all had billions of dollars,
we give them money. That's the.
And what I'm saying, if we had billions of dollars and we could fight it, we could get good.
I've given Samsung $1,000 out of my own pocket.
Don't even talk about
because
that right
now. I made a conscious decision to part with $1,000.
Here's the crazy thing right there. I sounded like a Democrat right there.
You did. Well, that's why you're more centered. You know what I mean? Like you said that to begin with.
We didn't even catch that.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, like, oh, wait, you sound like a Democrat. Right
Yeah.
Now. No, and I understand.
So I know the solution to this. The government should subsidize our internet expenses. We should be able to, itemize that.
Yeah.
And get like a 30%,
Well, right. Our water bill and electric bill too.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good time. You threw us on for
The net neutrality.
I think we need to get.
All right, we're done. I think that topic's
that's
done.
a big
Let's
one.
go. Next one.
That's a good one. I'm going to learn more about it.
We're going to it? All right.
I'm glad you brought it up, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I need to learn more about it.